And I'm sure Eugene has some for me as well.
Well, I love, for me personally, I love constructive feedback. I used to be in the corporate world where I managed large teams. And one of the things I always did with anybody that I brought onto my team was I always said to them, I go, I need to know what you're thinking in order to help. In order for us to move this relationship forward, in order for us to work together, I need to know what you're thinking. And that includes if I'm doing something wrong. And I used to tell people that if I come into your establishment and I tell you to take all your product and put it in the back room, you'll sell more. And I expect you to look at me and go, that's the dumbest idea I've ever had. That won't help my business. I want that kind of constructive feedback because that's how we get better.
Yeah.
Years ago, I read a book. It was called "A Complaint is a Gift." So if you're in a business where you get customer complaints, a lot of times you're like, oh God, not another complaint. And the gist of the book was every time you get a complaint, it was an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to kind of reevaluate and see if you could do things better. So that's kind of what we're trying to foster as well. And not just with us and the attendees, but between the attendees. Because how awesome would it be if you got this great constructive feedback that would make you better the next time and the next time and the next time?
Right. And again, be honest but kind. We want this to be a positive experience for everybody. And the reason we even created this is because we get tired of going to the same networking events, hearing the same pitches from the same people, and we also want to foster, unique relationships. Because the last time we had someone who was a financial planner, and then we had someone else who just recently started their own Keiko company. So obviously those may seem diametrically opposed, but at the same time, the financial planner might have been able to help the coffee company. The coffee company might have been able to help the financial planner by supplying yummy coffee.
Yep.
So, there's all kinds of different connections. And remember, even if it's not you per se, that you don't directly want to do business with them, you can become a strategic and or a referral partner.
Yeah.
Referral partners are wonderful, but you also have to weed them out and do your due diligence. Like, one, you can meet someone, let's say you come to one of our event next week, right? So you meet, Dr. Joe, okay, just for instance. Well, Dr. Joe says he does weight loss. Well, before you send your friend Susie, who might want to lose a few pounds, to Dr. Joe for weight loss, you also want to look up, their credentials. You want to check them out, see if they seem legit, check out their reviews. You don't necessarily want to just willy-nilly refer business to someone just because you met them. Yeah. Everyone talks in networking about building relationships. The majority of us don't. Majority of us just decide upon instant meeting them whether or not okay, I like you, I hate you, I don't want to see, there's a wide variety of responses. But I think, again, one of the reasons that networking in its previous form didn't really work is because we're not actually evaluating whether or not that person, one, is good at their job, two, can actually add business to you and your contacts, and three, we haven't actually done anything to foster an actual relationship. Having coffee meetings is great. Going to networking events together is great. Eugene and I have had dinner together. We've had lunch together. We've gotten to know each other pretty well over the last year. But it's taken a lot of time. But now if I have anybody who but now I know if there's someone in that realm who needs those services, or he might know somebody who they can help, I send them to Eugene. Yeah. And, I'd like to think, vice versa, because you can't necessarily establish a perfect business relationship or, really accurately assess someone's qualifications or skill level. And you may meet people who are really, really nice, really engaging, and you want to like them and you want to send them business. Sometimes they're bad at their job.
And, a lot of network events I've gone to, people will commit to things that they really don't want to commit to. And so our idea, too, is to cut through that and just eliminate this.
It's okay to say no.
Smoke. Yeah.
It's okay to say no. What was it, Nancy Reagan, say no to drugs?
Yeah, right. Well, it's funny because, I teach people to go for the no, to not go for the yes. Everybody wants a yes in sales, but the no is where you really find the true intent. So if you're just getting the maybes and you're taking the maybes, hey, let's go ahead and schedule a time to talk, great. And you never hear from that person again. We've all been down that road. That person goes into hiding and you're wondering what happened. I had such a good conversation with that person at that networking event. Yeah. So what we want to do is give tips and tools and take the pressure off everybody coming to say, your business really doesn't benefit anything I do.
Right.
But now that I've got to know you and you've given me some constructive feedback, I've given you constructive feedback, I feel comfortable in having a conversation with you. If I find somebody, I'll definitely bring it to you.
Yeah, no, and it's, we want to create that space where, neither you, Gina, or I really believe in quote unquote safe spaces, but from a business standpoint, not every networking event is going to necessarily be conducive to open and honest criticism or open and honest feedback. So there may be some places you go where, you may just have to be like, no, thank you. And you may still get pestered, and I don't know, you may unfortunately need to kind of do the like, oh, well, I'll think about it, take their business card and pretend you're going to call them just to get rid of them. But, no, we want to create a space that we would want to be in. And like I said, even myself, I need to get much better at being, not brutally honest, but upfront honest in whether
Brutal part. We gotta work on that.
Right. Because I've always been accused of being way too nice. but no. I mean, definitely be honest, be kind. But yeah, we want to create and foster that environment where people can and feel safe doing that, where there won't be repercussions or people aren't going to freak out.
So our intent with this is to get people together, give them some tips and some best practices, take the pressure off of them to foster these relationships quicker, actually in a way shorten the sales cycle of networking to find those meaningful conversations a lot faster. Here's what we found, by the way, the first one that we did is we put people in breakout rooms for 7 minutes, and when we brought them back, we did it twice, and we brought them back after 7 minutes, and we found that everybody wanted more time.
Yeah, definitely more time.
Yeah. So 7 minutes is a pretty good amount of time. Most times at a networking event, people are taking just a few minutes and breaking off, or they're standing by themselves for 7 minutes.
Right.
So what this told us was those one-on-ones with instructions were a lot more productive than if they just went to a networking event and were on their own, so to speak. There's some people that are great at networking. There's some people that they just know how to talk. I'm not one of those people. I don't really, honestly, I'd rather do cold calls than go to networking events. If someone would have taken the pressure off of me at these networking events, that would have just been a marvelous thing. So that's our intent.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I mean, and I think too, a lot of times when people are being taught how, like, quote unquote, how to network, we fall into this trap where a lot of times we're told that get as many cards as possible, you need to make as many connections as possible. Well, making 100 connections, if they don't do you any favors, or they're not, they can't be a strategic partner, they can't be a referral partner, or if you just generally dislike the people upon meeting them, it doesn't do you any good. So if you were to make 5 meaningful connections, and meaningful as in you have an actual interest either in their business or referring them business or having them, try to foster a relationship in which they refer you business, that's much more meaningful, it's much more effective, and it's a lot faster. Like Eugene said, you are slashing the sales cycle sometimes in half, sometimes immediately, depending on what your product or service might be.
And I'll touch on business cards. Have you ever been to one of those networking events where somebody the first thing they do is hand you a business card? That's all they do? Yep. And I mean, what do you do with that? You take the business card. What does this mean to me? It doesn't mean anything.
Smile politely, shake their hand, and be like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you," and then walk away 2 minutes later whenever it's socially appropriate.
It seems like the purpose of business cards at networking events now is just to get people in a drip campaign. So here's a tactic, and this is a tactic I've used and gotten a client. So I was having a conversation with somebody at a networking event one time, and I make it about them. I have a conversation with them, find out what they do, and then all of a sudden that person, this happens all the time, I've been talking about me all this time. What do you do? And then I tell them what I do, and I don't make it sound important. I make it sound unimportant. And they go, well, I think that's pretty interesting. Do you have a card? And this is a true scenario that happened. And the person, I looked at him, I go, why do you want one of my cards? And he looked perplexed, and he said, well, so we can connect. I go, well, why do you want to connect? Well, I want to learn more about what you do. I go, well, it's interesting that you want to learn more. I'm not sure I understand why. He goes, well, I think it would benefit me. Well, instead of us exchanging cards, why don't we pull out our phones and schedule an appointment and have a meeting? We did, and he became a client. I never gave him my business card. In fact, I go to networking events, I bring 3 business cards with the goal of not giving out those business cards. And I do this tactic all the time.
It is.
And you get appointments that way versus, here's my business card, put me on a drip campaign, now I'm annoyed. So that's the kind of thing that we're gonna practice, teach, again, take all the pressure off the people that come to this, give you these best practices so you can get to that relationship and that business quicker.
Yeah, oh no, for sure. Like we want there to be somewhere where people can develop business relationships in a meaningful way and in a time-effective manner. Because again, our primary complaints with networking, it was long, it was boring, and we didn't get any business from it. So, these are going to be, most are going to be an hour. We're hoping to keep it shorter because, again, we value your time just like we value our own, and we want to make sure it's meaningful and effective, both in time and energy spent with your ROI.
So as far as guests are concerned, if you know anybody that you think would make an interesting guest that would benefit people, attendees, by all means, reach out to us and let us know, because we're going to actively start pursuing these guests each week or every other week. We'll have somebody, and again, they've got to bring value. We're not going to just let anybody get up there and spew features and benefits. There's going to be value to the people attending the event. There's got to be some knowledge, some learning from these guests that come in there. And in exchange, the guests they also get to mingle and interact with the people and build relationships as well. So it's an excellent opportunity for them to network just like it is for everybody else.
Yes. And in the spirit of full disclosure, the guest, as a kind of like a thank you, all right, and both from the attendees as well as from us, if you do decide to become a guest on our with our networking event, Green Door, then we also will gift you or give you the contact information, for the attendees. We ask that you please don't put them automatically on an email trip, but this gives you the opportunity to reach out to those people because again, it's we're vetting in a way those potential clients or those potential business referral partners because they're already interested in doing something other than the status quo. They want business, they're hungry for business. We don't want to waste your time, and we, like Eugene said, our mission statement is to provide value to the attendees with the guests and the guests with the attendees. So you might have the best product, but if all you're willing to do is just just read out a list of what you have and the prices, that doesn't really add any value. Nor you could be a fantastic real estate agent, but there has to be something there. Like you have to actually want business, not just okay, all right, I definitely want commission. Everyone wants commission. Everyone wants money, but there has to be something that is driving you, is pushing you to succeed and actually do business more so than just dabbling, right? We all want business, and people who are hungry want to go get it. They're willing to do what it takes to get it, and dabbling is not usually it.
And from the last session that we had, I actually reconnected with somebody I haven't spoken with in a couple of years, and we're now going to work together. So it wasn't expected, but it was the process of having that conversation in the open with everybody, because what we did at the end of this particular one is we did have an open conversation. And people, I believe, I witnessed it, had some meaningful conversations and made some connections. And again, it wasn't about exchanging business cards.
No.
It was about understanding what you do, what value do you bring, what do you do, what's the value, how does it serve me, how does it serve you?
Right.
Really exchanging, how can we help each other without just throwing people in a room and expecting them to kind of just figure it out.
Like the Big Bang.
Yeah.